Okay, here we go. Here he is. Atheists. I'm going to talk about the presuppositional apologetic argument today, and how atheists talk about the refutations of it. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that today. I'm going to try to bring on a couple believers in God. True empiricism, arcane, truth theos, possibly Vecco, Schumann, G-Man, maybe some other people. Maybe atheists. I don't know if it's ever going to be handled. Not really matter, but it's kind of the point. At least, okay, let's try to get some people in here to this hangout. By the way, the topic for today is presuppositional argument. Presuppositional argument. Presuppositional apologetic argument. That's what it's going to be about, I think. No, because I think when, yeah, so you're just trying to confirm to the atheist, so it's not. Yeah, sure. No, everybody does it. Oops. There is North Invasion. A whole bunch of them I'm waiting right now. Veclon. That's funny, Veclon. Jeez. What a dumb question. Veclon. Sorry. Okay, that thing's gone now. Sorry for that. I know it's a hard life, dude. So, why do people think? Why do people think intelligent design is pseudoscience? I wonder if really why do that's just like because creationist for Darwinian science, or not as not because it isn't science anyway in the first place. Fucking thing. No. Oh wait, stupid thing. No. Okay, never mind that. It's weird. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I thought that was gonna get this out of here. Yeah, it's gonna wait for it. Oh yeah. Well, how can this one be? I don't know if it can. Let's right from it's like the Google Plus channel doesn't even work. Right from here to the. Hey, fuck! I don't want this. Jeez. Come on, Horton. Ah, God. Just go away, this stupid thing. this thing, so I should go away in just a few minutes again. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was thinking about somebody else. That's the channel I have. Fucking thing. I'm gonna take this off. There we go. YouTube's not responding. You can't even do anything. Right? You can't fucking click anything. Nothing. Like, I haven't even clicked that thing and it's like dying already. Loading it. It's so hot. It's blowing window. Jeez. You'd think it'd be cold. Actually. 0 viewers, hey man. Well, you know, somebody like Richard Raspberry, come in if you want, or somebody else, whatever, whoever wants to come in. So this Google Hangout today, they can come in if they want to know. So I got a new funky new picture with the apologetics thing on it, the logo on it, picture frame, colors, whatever. Right, so should be some great thing, right, for me personally, I guess. Cause I need more and more people defending the faith than atheism, because atheism's on the rise right now, and typically that's always been in the countries right now, but you gotta get rid of it, so, you know what I mean, so, because disbelief in anything else is wrong, absolutely wrong. According to my moral standards, objectively, even subjectively, you can't count for anything, actually. So, yeah, I have a type of morality that submits, or gets rid of absolute morality, whatever, you know, right, relative morality, anything else, or secular morality that doesn't do anything. So, or humanistic morality, or rationalistic morality, isn't it? Scientific morality, you know. And then the morality, these ideas are really popular. They're always put in this really grand kind of like scope and all this shit. But really, in the end, it doesn't matter, because to me, it's just it's BS. To most people, you know what I mean. So let's check here. Oh yeah, let's read this. This is a paper on the. Let me try to figure this. Okay, so wait. Full screen this. That's true. I stole from their web page in their channel. Right? So, okay, this is the link I'm going to put in the chat right now. It's very good science. There's no errors with it at all, because it's something that I think would be very persuasive to the evolutionist. Okay. Wait for that to come back again. Sorry, I'm going into evolution creation and all this shit, I know, but just help some terms out with my beliefs or whatever everybody else is on evolution and all that. So okay, so okay, as you can see there, I'm gonna figure out how I can put this on it without it doing that. What was this for? Oh, there you go. Okay. Why does it look like it says it's on that thing all the time? Like it's on my YouTube page. Why is it coming with that? It's because it's the other thing. Oh, okay, I see the other page. Okay, as we can see, just wait for this thing to click down here. It's frozen a little bit. I really got really far from what I was talking about, but this is from FIS, some other thing, whatever, .org. It says scientific study turns understanding of evolution on its head. I believe that is the heading. Yes. Actually, there could be. Well, yeah. Okay, thing fucking working, motherfucker. Oh. Yeah, well, I would have been if I would have passed or something. I would have been tired. Just hurry up, you know. Okay, here we go. Here, okay. So it says, latest research turns V-shaped cone model of evolution on its head. At the top, at the top though, it says recent, and then there's a time, the Cambrian period. So we're trying to just imagine, we can even go back billions of years. So I'm just saying that for, in case the open thing, of information that we can apparently go back that far, whatever. If there isn't there's time actually, even if time goes back that far. But anyway, there's disparity here, it says, and there's either high, low, or medium disparity, I would presuppose, right? Now, it says our understanding of animals and how animals on the planet may have evolved may have been wrong, according to scientists at the University of what university is it? This says the University of something like that. It says in a new paper recently published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, evolutionary biologists from the Department of Biology and Biochemistry looked at nearly 100 fossil groups to test the notion that it takes groups of animals may take millions of years to reach their maximum diversity in form. Yeah, right, they never change in form. Okay, anyway, contrary to popular, non-animal groups continue to evolve fundamentally to new morphologies all through time. Yes, finally! Oh, they get it, don't they? I've never seen how it's always been said that popular belief is creationism or some like superstitious, whatever, religious, junk science model, and it's never been that they admitted that no, that's maybe not. That may have been wrong to people, but now there's been actual. The other people's mind, the new Darwinians, the real scientists are actually doing the work on this. Now they're actually kind of like, you know what I mean? So the majority actually achieved their greatest diversity from disparity relatively early in their histories. So it says it's somewhat of that. Imagine that kind of concept if you can understand it. Sorry, I'm just gonna have to make this go down a little bit more for you to understand the rest of the paper. It's very good scientific literature. I'll just read it from the thing, and I won't show it then. Sorry, I got on this evolutionary thing. I gotta go fucking way down. I can make that sense. That's funny. So yeah, like you could tell, I know a lot about the science sort of shit, right? It's very persuasive in the case of atheism, but they want to bring it to atheism. They want to have a godless kind of society, godless kind of institution, godless model, godless kind of like method, godless, universe, ultimately, a godless creator, namely, the natural forces, that create everything that we apparently see, instead of believing it's whatever else, and then just believing it takes all material, physical, mental, natural, physically, psychologically, biology, every chemically, anatomically, everything else, like that. Pretty much, that's the only thing that really could make any sense, right? So. But I just said, I just thought there was not any kind of study that really came from any physics or any peer-reviewed things or anything like that when I was an anti-creationist. So, I mean, that really helps. Anti-evolutionists realize now that they're on the right side of science, right? So, the other side doesn't matter. But, it just doesn't take millions of years, it doesn't have to take that long for an animal species to really, as whatever they would say, or they would, say what they say, to take to evolve, apparently. Now, what that means is it's a sort of higher kind of event, right? And then we have where it goes through all sorts of things, right? The process, apparently, by neo-Darwinian natural society, all the rest, right? But it all takes is metamorphosis and all that, the rest. And there's no such thing as the neo-Darwinian evolution. That's not in existence at all. That's not even not existing, or it's not even, because it's not even a thing. We've tried everything we've done. We've tried to prove or disprove or prove or just, whatever the theory, that's wrong. It's been wrong for a long time, 150 years. So we've been studying a lot of different things and going along with all this stuff, that notions that people have had, right? Like, materialistic notions, or naturalistic, physicalistic, and sometimes other notions that are brought onto that wrong, and then they put onto the other philosophies, which is wrong to me, because those ones are actually correct ones. But anyway, what I'm thinking is, we have to realize that this is the first study that means creationism has some evidence actually to it now. And it has evidence, has had evidence, it will have evidence, and needs evidence, and will find evidence for it, eventually. It will come down to the eventual conclusion of eventually being a scientific theory, in fact. And whatever it can, sorry, I was going to miss it, but I stopped there, but, whatever it can be, so creationism will be actually viable, valid, and, yes, it will be, or anything else, I guess, but yeah, it will be like that, and eventually we'll realize that the theory that everything can just evolve from a pile of, organic, or not even that, it's way back, remember, apparently, to the evolutionist fairy tale of going back billions of years, which is impossible, because the Earth is only 1 to 10,000 years old. It's never all that, and I don't use any argument to prove that, actually, and they use all the arguments to prove that. And what I'm saying is, to go back to the first cell, where apparently life just has to spring about, just like that. Like it has everything already together, so it has everything right, and everything else, and all that just explained by itself. And then it has all the desire to keep going. Like, why do cells even care to keep you functioning, to go on with your DNA and all that shit, everything else that goes? It doesn't really matter. It's just random band transplants. It's just I'm probably all about shit, and this just doesn't make any sense on its own, right? So that's my sort of thing. That's my sort of reason why this is also, like I said, scientific evidence for creationism, right? It actually proves and validates and debunks all things, but also, it goes to Scripture, what Scripture said in the beginning, which we must really ultimately understand in a literal framework of Genesis 1, chapter, verse 1, chapter, all that stuff, and the rest. And, from even if you go backward from Revelation to Genesis, you still can't get rid of that sort of, actual event happening historically, It's 1,000 years from the framework for the 10,000 rest of the years. So eventually it gets to the the other years, and we realize of ancient to modern history and all that, and that still proves that we came from two people who were created by God, and then had the eventual sprout of offspring and children. Now I know people will try to spring this about the Noah Ark story, right? And try to say eventually I guess fall. But what they'll say is they'll try to say like that the fact that animals are like dispersed or moved or put or kind of like carried different places, and they're given off to different continents, and all this shit, and like what I mean, like, and all these different animals that somehow can exist on Earth, right, for a long time and periods of days as it rained, as the earth was flooded, right, by God, right. So that's the sort of thing, and the what's it? It's like it rained for that many days, right? And they try to compare it to other myths and to the other myths, to like the Noah myth story. They say, So I mean, I'm just saying, it's kind of pathetic, really. It gets to the point where you realize that racism doesn't offer an alternative solution or theory or fact or alternative worldview. It doesn't offer things like this, like evolutionary thing does, where it's just a natural mechanism of chance, so not a theological, spiritual, immaterial, all that sort of theistic kind of way, explanation, what I mean? So that's kind of my input in that sort of camp, right? So yeah, that's sort of my but it being in the debate, a long time, it's been a while. With the atheism, theism debate, Christianism, evolution debate, you kind of really get used to these kind of people who just lie and cheat, steal, hypocrisy, and all this shit, and I realize that it's on every side, but as atheists probably thinks, and I just realized that bringing them into this isn't really a good time. I understand that, but still, they want to be the very truth, actually. They want to be the arbiter of truth. They want to say truth is just subjectively known to be something objectively added as value. But no, so it's kind of funny. I understand that very differently than they do. So that's my point, Historical, all those things work, and we're just having the time of our lives pretending to making shit up and making BS and crap shit like this, and irrational, illogical, all these kind of claims we make up. We always make up claims that we always make up. No, but and it's just stupid. The model is, or no, the thing it is that people are atheists, then they're theists. They're never theists to atheists or anything around like that. Because although that happens, like, if it's around for different reasons, the atheist doesn't care about different reasons for what he thinks, believes, doesn't believe, could believe, wouldn't. It's like it doesn't matter to him as long as he's there trying to put everything in perspective all the time and never having a quite a night. I mean? So it's not easy for the atheists. Apparently, they just live with that, and that's fine for them, right? So that's all good. But I'm gonna invite somebody else in. And it's hot. Let me see. Ugh. So the presuppositional argument kind of goes for so they already refuted the argument a long time ago. They've said, so the default argument for the existence of God to them is just nothing. Any other argument if you've been there, position we must understand, but we must not. But I just think I'm wondering, why do the atheists actually care about the arguments for the existence of God if they don't believe in the existence of God or reality or proof of God or You know, they don't believe it. They believe in God, even, or even they don't accept God. They don't care about God. They don't think. You know, I mean, it's just stupid. Why do they care about? Why do they actually go ahead of these things? You know, if that's, you know. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. I used to say I was. I used to say I am an atheist. As I used to say to people, it just made no sense. Why would you need to care to think about it all the time? And you would. You really would. You would not like the way of actually thinking for yourself, doing anything on your own for yourself and all that. And you know, not being told by anybody. But the thing is, about talking about how theists have that whole same thing is just trying to put everything into like one little like you know. Everything is just could be just put in, and the atheists are the fucking top dog of the chain. They can explain everything down, and even when they don't, they admit obviously infallibility and everything else. It's because the theists always do it, and then it's like it's the opposite way, and they just it's just all room on it. Everybody says it's bullshit, but you know what I'm tired about? Is yes, mostly a lot about theists actually, because sometimes we're just bullshitting and it's not working. It's making the atheists look actually like they have a case, you know. So instead, I don't make the case against atheism, or the case like you know. Yeah, sometimes even I don't make the case that is made against faith or anything like that. Sometimes I don't even really care because it's not going to change that way. As they're going to do the opposite way. They're going to think like that, like you know, because they're so well rounded in their arguments, right? I mean, so yeah, no, of course they don't because they only have to have a presupposition in their own life at the end of it, and they don't care. So you're not going to ever get an answer to something like that. Right? You're going to get a question, even you're not going to get the explanation. You're not going to get anything that makes any sound sense to most people now these days. And I do want to say something on a live hangout that probably will really make people a lot mad. But atheism leads to starvation, murder, theft, and imprisonment, war crimes against humanity, murder, rapes, pedophilia, xenophobia, homosexuality, bisexuality, transsexuality. It leads to the supposed superiority of beyond this, the heterosexuality, and or the so-called not even having it or asexuality, you know, having not a sexuality, you know, or anything like that, you know, because the other ones make no sense. It's because it doesn't. I don't really care that I'm sexual, really, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, you know, they think it's obvious. The atheists are trying to say that you're trying to say about these positions, the ones that are looking at them are wrong, but realize that the positions that are more, they're supposed to be more majority. Why do you care so much about it? You're trying to switch it around, and they switch it around, but that's wrong, you know. So, but yes, and it leads to a lot of these things. Leads to wars, disease, and it leads to extinction and expiration, death, you know, destruction, and it's just nothing right. It's killed over billions of people over the last century, probably millions, even thousands, are just few now, but it's lessened, you know, obviously from the past. It never used to be this kind of evil, this vicious, kind of vicious train wreck. It is that it is, kind of is how it is, but it is what it is. But from the atheism from the past, hasn't done this. It's made it that religious theism, everything else causes all those problems, and it's still to this day you can't blame anything on a secular atheistic comment, on an ideological standpoint, because you can't do that apparently. That's just the rule everybody has to go by. So my shit's really been to be surprising to most people. I don't know why that's the case, and it actually is, right? Okay, but we can't, prove that to the atheists, right? They can't say that. They can't say, well, we can't prove that to the theists because they'll try, right? But we'll try. Atheism used to exist, and there was a country called, the state capital was, and there was a country, it was called the Soviet Union, the USSR, Russia, right? It pretty much, what it did is it wasn't any party that did this, and there was probably no other party that would probably try this, even if they could have, even if there's their actual agenda and ideology and all this. But this party itself, they had nothing really to stand for. But it went ahead and then at the end of the revolutions, the July and February Revolution afterwards, and the persecution of churches, synagogues, mosques, believers, so nuns, rabbis, imams, Buddhists, and monks. All religions were pretty much persecuted, suppressed, oppressed to them. They were trying to, gotten rid of almost. They were made extinct almost by the state. They were nearly destroyed, almost all their followers up there, and they caused, like, from the beginning of it to the end, probably to, obviously, well, they probably say now and they look back on it, schisms, whole breaking apart of churches and communion. They destroyed the links between the populations, between ethnic populations, the religious, cultural, and geographical, and historical, linguistic, societal, sort of thing. Those factors, and they just made it all totally evil, and they totally shit the whole place down. They didn't really care whether anybody survived, or somebody did, or anybody would. It's like because it doesn't matter. To the Soviet Union, the whole message was the goal of spread communism, right? Which is an evil ideology by itself. Just looking at it, when you look at communism, you think all the thing about planned theory, planned economy, and all that shit, and all the rest down, and everything else. Even versus Nazism, fascism, and capitalism, it's way less worse than communism. And the whole thing, with Stalinism and Leninism and Trotskyism and Maoism, or eventually came in China and all the other communist places. All that was just terrible, and it was definitely not just killing and all this and all this. And all this sort of shit in those regimes were not just the name of communism and all the name of that, it was atheism. The goal was to get rid of the godly people, not the godless people, and all the rest of the people. They would stay put, which would not be a lot of people left. So I also have to say there was a quote by a guy, a Russian, a historian, I think his name was, I can't remember his name. No, I just know his nationalized name, whatever, but he's some of his origin. But he said he asked his his father, no, not his father, somebody else, whatever, it was going on one time, why did 5 million Russians, this is my estimate, any estimate, whether it doesn't matter, maybe not, also not, but he said, why did 5 million Russians just go, vanished, they're gone, right? And he said, because man has forgotten God. And Fyodor Dostoevsky, there was the Russian author, who was still alive during the reign of the Tsar, right, and Nicholas II, before he was overthrown the Russian Revolution, right? And his family was executed in the coup or whatever. But yeah, and so that's the Russian monarchy against that, and he was nearly executed actually himself. That he had his group or something. It was like something like that, and he was, I can't remember what else it was, but anyway, like that, and he wrote that, a lot of different stuff, and he was very influential in his time. He became his big reality. But anyway, my point is that if the atheists ever get in power, watch out, man. You're never gonna have the end of it, because you would think that they would give more power to the religious, and it happens like that, and it gets even worse maybe, but because of that. But still, it's just the atheists, when they come to you and they say shit like this all the time. And then they say they're going to spread the seeds of doubt and all this shit's going to go on and on, right? And it's never going to, you're not going to be able to do anything about it. Just don't worry about it, right? But they're just going to say that. So, because you could tell what's good. So, yeah. Atheism and disease and destruction, imprisonment and war, famine, and death, and mortality and fatalities, and abortions, and what's the other thing that they do these days? Oh yeah, they try to get gay marriage, and this shit like that, and gay rights, and gay pride. Pretending like they have this sort of case open for everybody that's gonna be, we're gonna try to be this everything else, everybody else in this community sucks. They don't have the real anything of whatever it means to be exclusive or all that shit. No, just can't do it and all that. No, they're not gonna be able to do it. They're not gonna fucking